Outstanding, Rena. Thank you so much for coming online tonight, guys. And what a fantastic night we've got prepared for you. We've got one of my most favorite men in the world, okay? Our CEO at Zinzino, Mr. Doug. We truly appreciate your time, energy, and effort. And I've got Rena on hand with me as well, my master host, okay, that assists with me all the time. Rena, I'd like to get you to kick off the session, okay, and just start the opening with a few key questions we have for CEO Doug, and then we'll just continue to have a conversation.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Rob. And really, we'd like to acknowledge all the hard work that you put into organising these events for us. So thank you so much for your contribution. Doug, it's great to see you here. Happy New Year to you, everyone. Hands up, fingers up, thumbs up.
Happy New Year.
This is to a great 2022. So, Rob, you might want to take a photo of all us with our thumbs up. So, Doug, welcome. It's wonderful to see you. And please tell us a little bit about your 10-year history at Zinzino, because there are a few guests here on the call. So please let us know about your history at Zinzino.
Yeah, so I have an anniversary at least as in the same position, I would say. I came in like 10 and a half years ago with as a consultant, and I was making the ground for the expansion of Zinzino and the strategy sessions. And then I started in January 10 years ago, as you mentioned. So it's 10 years now, and 10 years with a lot of fun. And a lot of changes, I would say. So if you go back 10 years ago, we only sold coffee, and we only were launched in, I would say, probably in like 5 countries, 5 markets. And then we were softly expanding to 1 or 2 more with the coffee. So during the first year, we came across the fantastic tests, the balance test and the balance oil, and we were starting to softly touching base with the owners. We were acquiring like 10% of the company. We were testing it out for maybe half a year. We were taking tons of tests with discussions to change the company, and that has been part of the history that we have changed, developed, adapt, trying to increase the company with sales, of course. So the growth of the company is paying for all the investments and the adventures that we have done. And the coffee were pretty big. It was we grew with like 70% the first year that I came on board. So that wasn't bad at all. But we were seeing that the test and the oil, in combination with direct sales, that you need sometimes to explain the product. And I'm a funny guy, Rena. So I'm saying no one is waking up on a Saturday morning and thinking, hey, I need to take my balance test. I need to find out what the balance and the ratio between omega-6s and omega-3 is. No one knows about this. You need to have a friend, someone you know, that are telling you about this. That's why direct sales comes in. And the test in itself, it's amazing, it's brilliant, but no doctor, or now there is doctors, but no one will explain this. So you need to have a friend who explain this. That's why it's so important. We've changed so many lives with the products. So we started to expand, and I think it was like 2-3 years into my adventure, we found out that we wanted to expand to EU, Europe, like fully. And we did all of those needed things to be done when you're expanding fast for 25 new markets. We were, at that time, we were probably at 10 markets, and then we suddenly just opened up 20 more. We were in the United States, we were in Europe, northern part of Europe, and then we just expanded with 20 new markets. And we didn't know what to expect from that. And we also made a decision when we expanded the US, like in 2013, that we wouldn't take the coffee with us. We saw the potential in the balanced oil, and that was a better fit for the rest of the company. So the coffee is still around, but only in 8 countries. Or we sell some in EU, but that's just small for the partners, not for customers. So, and later on, you know about this, Robert and Rena, and most of you are here. We opened up the global web shop 1.5 years ago around that, which is kind of a copy of what we did 6 years before or 5 years before in EU, that we just open up a global web shop or a web shop, and then people could join. And then when we saw the traction, customers and partners, then we open up. Back to my 10 years of university, it's great having all that kind of background, knowing about the different things that we went through and been through, lots of struggles, bumps in the road, new products. We acquired the fully company that was making this products, that came up with that invention. We bought that company. We own it like fully today. We also bought a factory. We invested in IT, in product development, in new markets, branding, people. So I guess we are 10 times more people into the Zinzino office space today than what we were 10 years ago. So the company is not the same. It has changed many, many, many times, with a lot of fun, a lot of struggles. And Robert knows me and pretty well. So we had a conversation earlier this morning, and I'm obsessed about efficiency. Yeah. And about reaching the goals, Rena. Yeah. So it kills me when people are making unnecessary time on things that shouldn't be spent on, because I want to reach the goals. So the triangle that I'm talking about a lot internally is quality, speed, and cost. Quality, speed, and cost, meaning that when Cherry is, I see you, Cherry, when you want everything to be perfect with quality, I said, yeah, maybe, but it comes with a cost. And you are not demanding me to do everything with perfect quality, but we are tending to want everything fast with high cost. But are you willing to pay the price for that? Maybe not, because everything comes with a cost. So I'm obsessed with reaching the goals with quality, but also time and cost, Rena.
Yes, totally understand. And I mean, the fact that your growth in the first year was 70% is quite amazing. So we understand, you know, it's all about speed, cost, and the quality. And, you know, your change management is absolutely outstanding. And to that point, Doug, I'd just like to ask, can you tell us a little bit about your leadership style?
Maybe you should have everyone that is reporting to me on this call, and then I disappear and they can tell. That would be much more fun. And I can say, just be transparent. Well, I have, I haven't thought about this like precisely, so I need to use some words again, Rena. But I'm thinking that I'm open and transparent. I am so transparent that I'm sometimes could be felt like I'm too honest, because I'm always giving tough love. I try to be connected with people and give them space enough. I sometimes joke and say that leadership is super easy. You are, and you can write this down, Rena, and you can follow me up on this. So you set a vision, like we do, inspire change in life, okay? So you start off with a vision. So let's say that you are our manager for one country, Rena. I say, okay, so we start off, we agree that we want to inspire change in people's life. And then you say, yes, we agree to that. Before you've been hired, you've been taking a personality test. And I've been showing you my personality tests. And you you need to buy into my limitations, my good things and my bad things, Rena. So you kind of accept, and I will explain you what I'm Sometimes I have temper, so I'm getting like, ah. So that could freak people out or scare people, to be honest. But I start off with the vision, and then the mission: inspire health and wealth for customers, friends, and family. Like, are you buying into these things? And then we are repeating the core values of the company: togetherness, continuous improvement. And I repeat myself tons of times on continuous improvement, because I accept less quality when we need to put the speed up or the cost is not gaining us anything, if you get me. And then after that, I'm talking about the targets. So the targets for Zinzino is 1 million customers in 2025. It's 20 million customers in 2035, and it's 100 million customers in 2050. What does that mean? Well, it means that we need now to take actions towards those goals. If those goals were the half, we could have slowed down the pace. We could have taken a little bit less risk. We don't need to open that many new markets. We don't need to product development in the speed that we do. We didn't need to be as eager as we are today. We could have slowed down a little bit and taking more time on the processes, if you understand. But since we got these goals, we need to take actions today. And I need to. So if you were my kind of co-worker here and we were talking, you need to buy into that kind of those top things: vision, mission, core values, and the top goals. And then it's easier. We are defining together the strategy and your goals, meaning that your goals in your market, what you're going to achieve, your action points, and we agree on that. And then I give you a budget and space to do your work and trust you. And then you have access to me, talking to me, you could debate things to me, you would get honest answer. But I'm trying to build, and Robert, you can confirm this if you want to, and if you disagree with me, disagree with me. I don't have any issues with that. Robert knows that. But I'm trying to build a personal business relationship with everyone that reports to me. So they know my strengths, they know my weaknesses, and I'm totally honest. If there is something wrong, I wouldn't put it in the closet. I will be honest and tell them right and straight in the face. That's part of my good. I don't have a hidden agenda. The only agenda that I have is to reach the goals that we have together. So, and basically one kind of learning lesson, since you asked me this question, I see that Peter Lamb here is writing down everything. So he have had tons of meetings with me, fun meetings, struggle meetings, and different things. But I'm trying to hire everyone that has the same set of values as myself. Mm-hmm. So the company, I'm basically searching for people with the right set of values. And then I say the second thing that I'm looking for is ability. The ability to grow, develop, change, adapt. You don't need to learn and know everything that we do, but I would like to see that you have the ability to grow. And then in the end, skills is important, but in the order and rank, it's first values, then ability, and then skills. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
You see that I got long answers, long monologue answers. So you don't have much time to ask questions.
No, that's good. No, that's really good to know, you know, that you really do focus on those core values. And I know, Doug, that you're reading a book. And that book is all about the Invincible Company. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm reading tons of books, Rena. I'm like a nerd. So I'm done with that one. I'm using some of that things. It's actually a trilogy, a series of books from the same company, I would say. It's a company that wrote that book. It's a consultancy agency talking about change management. Yeah. So it's 3 books, but there's tons of books that I'm reading to develop myself, and I listen to podcasts. I do a lot of different things. I wouldn't say that I'm pulling out everything from one book and saying this is my holy grail and I'm not gonna read anything else. There's a couple of nuggets in that book which is really good, and there's a couple of things that I'm thinking, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
If you understand.
Well, Doug, can you share those nuggets with us?
In that book?
Yeah, that would be great.
Yeah. So let me see here. I think that you need to define. I think the main topic of that book is that if you need to develop yourself, you need to explore, otherwise you die. There's a couple of examples of companies that comes from, let's neutral. There's no one from Switzerland here, but they're large in banking. Why are not Switzerland the best one in the world on payment then? Since they know how banking and transactions, why aren't they doing that? It's because they don't invent themselves internally. So that company is built from that, or that book is talking about how you invent yourself, how you reinvent yourself, how you pull and push towards that. You don't need someone from the outside telling you what you need to do and develop. You need to have that kind of culture internally that really are searching for development, how we can do things better, how we can change. There's one other nugget, and this is kind of mind-blowing, and you can use Amazon as a company that has been really, you know about Amazon, US company. They put down, the last 20 years, they had invested in tons of different companies, but they have that kind of culture that it's allowed to fail, saying that you invest in a company and you see that, no, this was wrong, and then they just leave that. So they've cut out 20 companies the last 20 years. And I think that the highest cost was 156 million US dollars. They just said, hey, we invested so much money, it's not working, we're not going to do it anymore. It's sunk costs. Most people would be dying, I'm not sure how many heads were cut after that decision, but the culture to explore and exploit is extremely important. So the culture is the main thing here, the culture to develop and searching for that internal good ideas and having an attraction to find out what we can do better, if you understand.
Amazon's such a strong brand, Doug. I was just wondering, how does Zinzino actually increase brand awareness?
I think we need to do it like in many different ways. I would say we need to make sure that our trademarks is, so let's, do you want a long answer on this or a short one?
A short answer, because we've only got
short answer. Okay. Short answer is to make sure that all the partners all across the world is using the products, are talking about the products, showing the products, have tons of meetings, that we are good online, social media, that the packaging is beautiful, that every customer and partner gets what they expect over time, daily, every day.
That's brilliant, Doug. That's brilliant. Now, part of this series is all about networking is the future. So can you explain to our audience why direct sales is actually the best model for consumers and for partners?
I think it's pretty tough words to use. Best. I think there's tons of different ways of attracting customers. So I don't want to brag and say this is the only or the best way. I'm saying, but I could point out what I think is the strong advantages on this business. So first, it's a lot of people out there that would like to use some of their spare time and to sell products, to earn a little bit money, or even develop themselves. So, and what we offer is development of people, and then you can use spare time to sell products, at least in the beginning, I would say. Then you can use it fully time as well. And it's pretty, pretty it's not expensive to start. You can actually start with zero euros, American dollars. You don't need to buy any packages. You can start off in Zinzino and you can be a part of a community, which I also do believe is a big factor to start with this business. So I like the idea that you can start up being your own boss, selling products, develop yourself. You can start with that dream without that being costing you tons of investments and money. And we got everything lined up for you. Or Express Start, Info Zinzino, e-commerce platform, fantastic products, a good business model. So you can earn money and be your own boss without having tons of money in your bank. And I like that idea. And I also like the idea that we are doing something good. With the products is extremely strongly in my mind when we talk about these things. It's really important for me, Rena. The products that really could change a lot of families, people all across the world.
And that's coming back to, you know, inspiring change in life. And we had Orion on last week, and he used a good analogy he talked about inflation and wages increase. You know, he talked about 3.8% there, but with us, it's endless, really. Depends on what you want to achieve and what your goals are. Tell us about some of the market expansion and how do you evaluate the potential of new markets, Doug?
So we've done that differently over the years, and we've done some mistakes, to be honest. But for the future, it's depending on what kind of traction, what kind of numbers, and the potential. So we look at potential, the market in itself, how easy it is to set it up. And we have like a 100-point plan, which we divide into like 10 different points that we need to go through. And then we look at the numbers. So look at the global web shop. Let's talk about the Philippines here, Robert. We know that we got partners already in Philippines. We know that we have customers in Philippines. We know that we could have strong leadership in Philippines. So for me, it's an easy thinking that, okay, let's open up Philippines. We have the same thing for Russia. We have partners, we have customers for many years. So Russia is important to me for opening. We have the same thing in Mexico. We have customers and we have partners already in Mexico using the products. Then it's easier for us to open that market and know that the revenue would be, there is some tractions. Instead of just jumping on a market that we don't know anything about or doesn't have any traction. So that's the beautiful thing. When we opened EU, we saw that into the EU. We saw that those markets that had traction, partners, customers, we were more eager to open those and also translating into the different languages. So we were adapting to that market, doing all that work, product registrations and other different registrations and getting all that paperwork done. And then we set it up. And we will do the same kind of model for the global expansion as well. So it's all about the money.
Yeah. Money
and the potential.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Doug, I just wanted to go back to the core values and the importance of the core values that you spoke about. Now, you talk about Zinzino being a very friendly company, and you want to be the the #1 direct selling company in the world. Mm-hmm. How do we become that #1 direct selling company and be the most friendly company?
Customer friendly, you mean?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. No, it's pretty easy. It's just doing all what we have said we're going to do in the plans that we have laid out, and then if we are adding 20% growth every year for the next 30 years, we will probably be #1 just by doing all the work that we do today. It's not like science fiction. We don't need to change that much. We need to develop, we need to grow, we need to follow the plans. We might need to buy a couple of companies, like acquire a couple of companies to get like access to different markets. But it's about growing and developing constantly. and inspire change all across the world. That's the easiest short answer.
I think the great thing too is Zinzino give everyone such a beautiful customer experience. You look just at the packaging as an example when you receive your Premier kit. It's beautifully done. There's a lot of thought that's gone into it.
Yeah. And it's going to be more beautiful in 5 years' time. And in 10 years' time, even twice and third time. So that's what I mean by developing. You need to kind of criticize yourself a little bit every week at least, and see what have you done good, what have you not done good, and then change that, develop what's needed.
And Doug, we know how passionate you're about, you feel about efficiency. Can you tell us how you actually innovate with efficiency and transformation?
Someone is knocking somewhere.
Oh, sorry, whoever stop the knocking, can they please mute? Whoever's knocking, could you kindly mute? Thank you.
Someone wants to get in.
Yeah, someone, knock, knock.
Hello, is it your place, Rena?
No, it's not my place.
Your question was, again, I was so obsessed by the knocking that I forgot.
I'm sorry. Yeah, so we were talking about efficiency and your passion for efficiency that you talked about. How does Zinzino actually innovate with efficiency and transformation?
Well, that's a hard question to kind of answer quickly, but I think it's about getting the right people on board. And if you've had the right people on board with the same kind of values and the same kind of skills, and you build a culture, I didn't mention in my work through for how to lead, or I didn't mention culture, but culture is extremely important. What kind of environment are you building around this company and inside the company, and what kind of expectations do you set? That's why I'm so often talking about, because I brought in tons of people into the company in the last 3 years. They come in with different expectations, different learning experience, different ideas about what is quality, what is costs, and what is time. And some people have shortage of time, some people have like high quality bars. So I'm trying to figure out and melt that down to a culture. I'm saying this pretty out loud into the company. I want to keep the keepers, I want to move people up, meaning, and then I want to, those who doesn't like our cultures and strategy or our values should not work in Zinzino. I'm pretty strong on this. So keep the keepers, move up or move out. I'm saying that pretty often. I mean, I want to make sure that we have a fantastic culture with the right set of people that has the right set of culture. And if you do this, you provide the culture with the right set of values. And the culture is then defining quality, costs, and time. So the efficiency is down. And I'm talking pretty often about this. Are we wasting time, spending time? And I also think you need to allow people to do some mistakes. You don't need to do the same mistakes over and over again, but doing some mistakes is okay. We will do that, everyone, but we can apologize for it and then excuse ourselves. But the culture is taking care of that. It's okay to do some mistakes, or I forgot this, or I didn't do that, or I didn't do that the right way. I spent too much time, little time, you know.
Doug, I'm just conscious of time now. Rob, if I could hand back to you to close.
Fantastic, unbelievable. Okay, and Doug, some really great nuggets there for people to understand. Now, the key that I always talk about is where you're driving the company and taking the company as a global company now. You can certainly identify some key markets that you're opening around the world. Okay, I can see that the product choice, your choice of products, is now really honing into a specific marketplace. Just talk about the vitamin D for one moment as our next part of the test-based nutrition program we've got, and the future markets with Xenobiotic and products like the Ascent Premium.
Your question was
the quality of the products that you're targeting. So where you're actually the next generation of these testing devices that you've got on the drawing board.
Sorry for being slow here, Rob. We are at this very moment developing a new the third tests, and we have some ideas on the 4th and the 5th and the 6th. And we've had that for many years. Well, one of the basically things that we needed to do was to improve the website, zinzinotest.com, and it was improved a couple of years ago, I think. Now, and it's easier for us to launch more test methods. And then I'm basically going to say this, Robert, my thinking is that maybe one new test per year would be great for everyone. I'm curious about having my D vitamin levels measured myself, but there's tons of other biomarkers that would be beneficial for me, my family, and you, and everyone in the world to measure from time to time. I still think that balanced test and a balanced oil is going to be our #1 product for many, many years to come. It's a brilliant product. It's where the start on the health protocol. So it's basically science-based products and test-based in a combination, Robert. That's the short answer to your question.
Yeah, and I think that's the critical part. And I did a great call actually earlier today and last week on a business presentation. And I always try to make sure people understand that the balanced test, okay, and the balanced oil, these are the prime, products that really has built this company. So, we have to always remember that the other products that complement it are just complementary products, but the testing is there, and then also an oil that is selling at massive volumes today.
Yeah, I'm using 3-4 products, 5 products per day. Probably you can see that I'm using the skin serum, of course.
Yep.
But the health protocol is important for me. I can say that I went out for xenobiotic for a month. I'm gaining weight when I'm not using the xenobiotic. I've done that I've seen that so many times. My stomach needs xenobiotic. The extent to make sure that I have every nutrients that I want to and need to. And I also use the lean shake because it's a good meal replacement for me. We have that in Europe, and there's also protein after my working out sessions. So I'm a great believer in that. And also the vitamin D. I'm taking the vitamin D half of the year. It's no sun here, and I'm using sunscreen all around the world, all around the clock. So for me, I'm a big user of many of the products that I'm using. And from time to time, twice per year, I will use the Synergy. And then when I'm a little bit too eager, I need to have the Viva when I'm going to bed, but not that much. I'm a good sleeper. So.
Fantastic. Well, Doug, as you know, we've now got the Therapeutics Goods Administration approval here in Australia. So
I know
all of our core products and our new product, the Ascent Premium.
Isn't that beautiful, Robert?
Mate, this is the best box. You wait, guys, until you see this box. I'm so proud of this. And Doug, just everything about it. It's, and again, I was on a marketing meeting, Zoom earlier today, and just where we've come as a company in the last 2 to 3 years, it's astonishing. It truly is. Branding, just the way people perceive our products now as a top of the range product, not saying there wasn't before, but just the lift that's happened. And this product, guys, when it's released on the 1st of February into Australia and delivered to the consumers on the 14th around the world of February, this is an incredible product. So that's about to be released here in Australia as well. The Xenobiotic, again, beautiful, gut product. That is just going crazy in sales around the world. And here in Australia and in other parts of the world, the vitamin D test, again, outstanding packaging. Wellness professionals are purchasing these products and referring it to their clients. I always go back to this incredible premium oil, okay? It is the gold standard now in what I call omega oils in the world. And whatever ailment you have, guys, just go, asthma, omega oils, arthritis, omega oils. There is so much double-blind studies. And then when you see our formulation of the oils, it really shows that proof defeats doubt. So Doug, in closing, can I ask, have you got a closing comment as we close out? We are on time. It's perfect. Any final closing words you can say to the customers, to our guests who are online, or our partners that are listening now around the world?
I just want to say I'm pleased to be here together with you today. I'm happy to be celebrating 10 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 10. Appreciate you all. Thank you for everything you do. Happy New Year again, and then rank up and join us for the next director trip. I'm so much looking forward, Robert, to the world to open up. I've been in tons of meetings with this gentleman Peter Lam here, but I've never met him in person. So I'm looking forward to give him a hug and say hi to him like in person, building relationship, and fly over to Asia. Robert, we've seen each other, so you're also going to get a hug, and I've seen you, Rena, in person and in life. So that's not a thing in that sense. But I appreciate you all. Do take this opportunity and do it good for yourself and all the people around you. And for me, it's the product is the start of the business, but of course the business is also the product. So what comes first, I don't sure. Appreciate you all.
Fantastic, absolute great words. And guys, don't forget what we have in our hands. We have something that the world needs. There is so many millions and millions of people that need to be tested. There's so many millions of people that need to be on the products. And it's our duty and care that we need to go out and share this with the world. It's really time that we go out there and express these incredible products globally, now that we're shipping to over 100 countries and have access, or people have access to these incredible products. CEO Doug, thank you again so much. Rena, thank you for being online. And thank you for everybody watching. Hit that share button, guys. Get this link out to as many people as possible. And guess what? You're going to help somebody's life 100%. Thanks, guys. Take care. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.